What if I told you there's a hidden force shaping every relationship in your life? It determines why you overthink texts, why you crave space when things get too close, and why some friendships feel easier than others. It's called your attachment style. And once you understand it, every relationship in your life will start making sense. Hi, I'm Shannon, your barefoot librarian. And 2 years ago, I found this book, Attached, by neuroscientist Dr. Amir Levine and psychologist Rachel Heller. It changed everything for me. I went from anxious and overanalyzing to, well, still occasionally overanalyzing, but now with the tools to build healthier connections. This isn't just another relationship book. It's your brain's owner's manual. And I'll link it below so you can explore the full research behind everything we're discussing if you'd like to do that on your own. Over the course of this 3-part series, we will uncover, first, which of the 3 attachment styles is running your relationships. Second, why you keep attracting the same type of partner and how to break the cycle. And finally, practical ways to rewire your relationship patterns starting today. Whether you're single, married, or it's complicated, this is the missing key you've been searching for. Ready to transform your relationships? Let's begin. Attachment Theory 101. The book is based on John Bowlby's attachment theory, which was originally developed to understand the bond between infants and their caregivers. But here's the cool part. It turns out this theory applies to adult relationships too. So all those patterns you notice in your relationships, they might actually be rooted in your attachment style. The premise of the book is pretty simple, but powerful. Understanding your attachment style can help you build healthier, more fulfilling relationships. And here's a quote from the book that really stuck with me. The need for attachment is hardwired into our brains. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a biological imperative. Basically, we're wired to connect with others, and that's okay. Now, why did I choose this book? Well, I've actually read it twice in the past few years. The first time was when my husband and I first started dating. I stumbled across it while browsing his bookshelf. Yes, I'm that person who judges people by their bookshelves. At the time, I was coming out of some not so great relationships, and this book helped me understand why those relationships didn't work and how I could start building something healthier with my now husband. Fast forward to today, it's been incredible to see how far we've both come. Being in a healthy, loving, and secure relationship has actually helped my attachment style become more secure over time. It's like the book says, your attachment style isn't set in stone. It can change with the right experiences and effort. All right, let's dive into the 3 main attachment styles: anxious, avoidant, and secure. These styles basically explain how we show up in relationships, whether we're the
let's talk about our feelings
type or the
I need space like yesterday
type. Spoiler alert, understanding your attachment style and your partner's can be a total game changer. First up, we have anxious attachment. These are the people who crave closeness, but also have this underlying fear of abandonment. They're the ones who might text, "Are you mad at me?" after a few hours of silence, or overanalyze every little thing their partner says. Sound familiar? Yeah, I've been there too. Scientifically speaking, anxious individuals often have heightened activity in the amygdala, which is the brain's fear center. This makes them super sensitive to any potential threats in their relationships. For example, if their partner seems distant or distracted, it's like their brain is constantly on high alert, looking for signs that something's wrong. But here's the thing. This sensitivity isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means they care deeply about their relationships. The key is learning how to manage that anxiety and communicate their needs in a healthy way. Next is an avoidant attachment. These are the people who value independence above all else and might struggle with intimacy. They're the ones who pull away when things get too serious or say things like,
I just need some space.
And honestly, I used to think they were being difficult, but there's actually a lot more going on beneath the surface. From a scientific perspective, avoidant individuals often suppress their attachment needs. They generally have lower levels of oxytocin, which is often called the bonding or cuddle hormone. This biologically makes it harder for them to feel connected to others. At the same time, they tend to have higher levels of stress, even if they don't show it. It's like they're constantly battling this internal push and pull between wanting closeness and fearing it. Think of someone who's super independent and also kind of distant. They might seem like they have it all together, but deep down, they're struggling with vulnerability. Last but not least is a secure attachment style. These are the people who are like relationship unicorns. Comfortable with intimacy, but also totally okay with independence. They're emotionally available, communicate clearly, and handle conflict like pros. You know that friend who always seems to have their life together? Yeah, they're probably securely attached. Here's the science behind it. Securely attached individuals tend to have higher levels of oxytocin, that hormone which helps them feel connected and calm in relationships. On top of that, they have lower levels of stress hormones like cortisol, which means they're less likely to freak out over small things. Basically, they're the chillest people you'll ever meet when it comes to relationship drama. So, to recap, there are anxious, avoidant, and secure attachment styles. And honestly, I don't know about you guys, but while I was researching all of this, I totally profiled all of my exes.
Oh, so that's why it didn't work out.
Okay, let's talk about something fascinating. The strange situation test. This is the experiment that laid the foundation for understanding attachment. It was developed by Mary Ainsworth, a psychologist who wanted to study how infants respond to separation and reunion with their caregivers. Typically their mothers, but it could be any primary caregiver. Here's how it worked. A baby and their caregiver were in a room together, and then the caregiver left for a few minutes. When they returned, researchers observed how the baby reacted. Did the baby run to their caregiver for comfort? Did they ignore them? Or did they seem confused and unsure? Based on those reactions, Ainsworth and her team were able to identify 3 attachment styles in children: anxious ambivalent, avoidant, and secure. Now, here's the fascinating part. Research shows that these childhood attachment styles can often carry over into adulthood. The way you responded to your caregiver as a baby might still be influencing how you approach your relationships today. And not just the romantic ones. We're also talking about friendships, family dynamics, and even workplace interactions. As Attached puts it, our early experiences with caregivers create a blueprint for how we approach relationships later in life. But, and this is a big but, your attachment style isn't set in stone. It's biological, but not static. For example, maybe you were securely attached as a child, but then something traumatic happened later in life, like a toxic relationship or a major loss, and that shifted your attachment style. On the flip side, if you're anxious or avoidant, being in a relationship with a secure partner can actually help you become more secure over time. This is called earned security, and it's actually what happened with my husband and me. When we first started dating, I had a lot of anxious tendencies. I'd overanalyze everything, worry about being abandoned, and just generally stress myself out. But over time, being in a healthy, loving, and secure relationship and marriage helped me feel safer and more grounded. It's like his secure attachment style rubbed off on me, and now I'm much more secure than I used to be. It's proof that change is possible. So while your childhood experiences might have created a blueprint, you're not stuck with it forever. With awareness, effort, and the right relationships, you can rewrite that blueprint and build healthier connections, whether it's with your partner, your friends, or even your coworkers. Okay, I am about to blow your mind with something that sounds completely backwards, but is 100% true. Needing other people is actually what makes you more independent. I know, it sounds like a contradiction, but stick with me. This is called the dependency paradox, and it's one of the most fascinating ideas in Attached. Here's how it works. When we have secure, healthy relationships, they act like a safe base for us. Think of it like home base in a game of tag. It's the place you can always return to when you need comfort or support. And when you know that base is there, you feel more confident venturing out into the world, taking risks, and pursuing your goals. As Attached puts it, the more effectively dependent people are on one another, the more independent and daring they become. How cool is that? But here's the flip side. When that safe base feels shaky, like after a fight with someone close to you, it can totally throw you off balance. Ever notice how you can feel turned upside down all day after an argument with your partner, best friend, or family member? That's because your emotional safety net feels threatened, and suddenly everything else feels harder to handle. It's like your brain is saying,
Wait, my safe base is wobbly. I can focus on anything else.
Let's break this down with some science. Studies show that people in secure relationships have lower levels of stress hormones like cortisol and higher levels of oxytocin, that bonding hormone. This means they're calmer, more connected, and better equipped to handle challenges. But when there's conflict, those stress hormones spike, and it can feel like your whole world is off kilter. Here's an example. Imagine you're about to give a big presentation at work. If you know you have a supportive partner or friend waiting to cheer you on no matter how it goes, you're going to feel a lot more confident walking into that room. But if you're in the middle of a fight with that person, suddenly the presentation feels 10 times harder. That's the dependency paradox in action. Your connection with someone else gives you the strength to stand on your own. But when that connection feels unstable, it can leave you feeling shaky too. And here's a fun fact. Did you know that even small conflicts can temporarily lower your oxytocin levels? That's why making up after a fight can feel so good. It's like hitting the reset button on your emotional safety net and releasing happy chemicals in your brain. It's a reminder that repair is just as important as the connection itself. And again, this doesn't just apply to romantic relationships. It could be a close friend, a family member, or even a mentor. The key is having someone who makes you feel safe and supported. When you have that, you're free to explore, grow, and take risks, knowing you have a safe base to come back to. Let's zoom out for a second and talk about the bigger picture. Why understanding your attachment style is so crucial for your holistic wellness. Here's the thing. Your relationships don't just shape your love life, they influence your mental health, your physical health, and even how long you live. Yeah, it's that big. First up, let's talk about your brain. Research shows that people with secure attachment styles tend to have lower levels of anxiety, depression, and chronic stress. Why? Because when you have a safe base, someone who makes you feel supported and secure, your brain can relax. You're not constantly scanning for threats or worrying about being abandoned. It's like having an emotional safety net that lets you focus on thriving, not just surviving. Think of it this way. Just like eating well and exercising are non-negotiables for a balanced life, nurturing your relationships is just as essential. You wouldn't skip meals or stop moving your body, right? Well, your emotional connections deserve the same level of care. But it's not just your brain that benefits. Your body does too. Studies have found that people in secure relationships tend to have stronger immune systems, better cardiovascular health, and even longer lifespans. Seriously, being in a healthy relationship can literally help you live longer. Here's the science behind it. When you feel emotionally secure, your body produces less of the stress hormone, cortisol. My dog's dreaming and making noises. Tucker! Tuck! You're okay. You're okay. Here's the science behind it. When you feel emotionally secure, your body produces less stress hormones like cortisol. High cortisol levels over time can wreak havoc on your body. Think weakened immunity, high blood pressure, and even weight gain. But when you're in a secure relationship, your cortisol levels stay lower and your body can function at its best. It's like your relationships are giving your immune system a boost. So, why does all of this matter? Understanding your attachment style isn't just about improving your relationships. It's about creating a foundation for overall well-being, whether it's your mental health, your physical health, or your ability to thrive in all areas of life. Your relationships play a huge role. And here's the thing. I'm not here to tell you I have all the answers. I'm on this journey too, learning, growing, and figuring things out alongside you. My goal with the Barefoot Librarian is to create a space where we can all grow into the best versions of ourselves, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And that means always being curious, always learning, and always striving to build healthier, more fulfilling connections. Okay, I'm curious, which attachment style do you think you have? If you're not sure, I have something special for you. I have created a free attachment style quiz that you can download and take it home. It's based on the principles from Attached, and it's a fun, easy way to learn more about yourself and how you show up in your relationships. To get the quiz, just comment attachment quiz below and I'll send it right to you. And don't forget to share your results in the comments. I would love to hear what you discover. Also, make sure to tune in next time where we'll dive deeper into how your attachment style shapes your relationships. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. That's all for now. Take care, stay curious, and I'll see you next time.